Hello everyone, I'm Emre, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time that I haven't shared a video. I hope you noticed that, and I hope you've missed my cooking videos. I thought that I need to get back with a very special recipe, which is going to be from Nusr-et actually, or you might call him Salt Bay. If you have ever visited any of his restaurants around the world, you might have seen that there's this super juicy, super soft meat recipe that we call lokum in Turkish, which literally means Turkish delight actually, because it's as soft as a Turkish delight and as juicy as a meat can ever get. On the video during cooking, do not expect me to do the signature moves of him, but I can assure you that in the end of the day we are going to have a perfect, juicy, soft and of course super delicious sirloin recipe. By the way, I am not going to only cook to meat, but also I'm gonna try to give you an idea what you can serve it with, so that I am going to share a mushroom recipe of my own with you humbly. So I hope you are going to enjoy the recipe. Hello again. I want to say hello all the time when I open the camera. I know this is weird. So I'm gonna start with doing the mushrooms because the meat has to be fresh and has to be hot when we serve it. This is why we are going to get the mushroom parts done first. So what I have here is oyster mushrooms. They're fresh, clean, nice and juicy, just like how we want. I am just going to cut the heads off because they are sort of hard and it's going to be hard to cook. And I am going to just randomly chunk them. I'm using oyster mushrooms, but you can use any kind of mushroom that you have or that you like. I am going to start cooking the mushrooms first before I add the other ingredients. The reason why, you know, mushrooms sometimes have this weird texture and actually sound when you bite them. It's like gurch, gurch. If this can explain it. If you do not want to have this, I hate that texture. The thing that we should do is try to not lose the water or the juice of the mushrooms. So there are two tricks about it. One is not to wash the mushrooms. Yes, we shouldn't wash the mushrooms, but what we should do is either to brush them or just wipe them with a clean kitchen towel. It is going to clean them perfectly. And the second trick to do is to roast or to saute the mushrooms when the pot and the cooker is so hot. As hot as possible, as high heat as possible, because when we put them in the very hot pot, they're just going to be like, and they're going to hold all the juice and water inside them, while the skin of them are getting caramelized and sort of a thick thick layer, which is not going to let the water go out. So I think this is hot enough now. I am going to add only a drizzle of olive oil, and I am going to add the mushrooms. And I am going to add the mushrooms and I am going to add the mushrooms, and I am going to saute them for Now let's wait until the oil is hot, and then I am going to add the mushrooms, saute them for only a few minutes, and then I am going to chunk the other vegetables here and add them as well. While the mushrooms are getting sauteed perfectly here, I can prepare and add the other ingredients. If you ask me, the best combination that you can create with mushroom is a sweet combination. So for a sweet combination, the best and sweet thing, and you can support sweet tastes with from vegetables, is peppers. Any color of peppers will do. And today I am going to use, as you can see, yellow. I am just going to cut them into cubes and add them directly. 1 green pepper, 1 celery stick. As you know, celery stick, alongside with its perfect taste, it actually is a perfect seasoning. It puts an amazing taste to everything that you add in. And also 1 leek. Actually, in any kind of recipe, if you do not want to use onion, or if you do not even have an onion at home, you can use leek, because they're coming from the same family and they sort of have similar textures and tastes. So it's amazing to use. And 1 carrot. Some salt, not too much. Some black pepper and some soy sauce. Only a drizzle. Plus some garlic powder. You can use real garlic as well. And now it's time to deal with the meat part. What I've got here is a 500 grams of sirloin. You can recognize it from the marble looking beautiful fats, which is going to make it even more delicious actually. So what I'm gonna do now is only to put some fresh thymes around it. Actually, I am going to tie it with a rope, with a cookable rope, and I am going to sear it, which actually means that burning the layer or caramelizing it, just like how I've said for mushrooms, to put all the juice, all the water inside the meat, so it's going to be like super juicy, super delicious and soft inside. What I've got here for searing is a cast iron pan, which is the best option actually, but if you do not have it, you can use any kind of pan that is durable for high heats. It's hot enough because the steam that's coming out almost burned my hands, so it's enough. Without any seasoning, without any oil, without anything, I am going to put my meat for searing. If I put any seasoning, it is going to let the moist out. And listen. Now for a few minutes, I am not going to touch it, I am not going to move it, just leave it here and go do something else. Until it gets perfectly caramelized from bottom, and then I am going to turn it and do the searing thing for all the parts of the meats. Perfectly done, as you can see as well. It's got the golden brown color from all the parts perfectly. Now I am going to cool it down, but not directly on a surface, because if it touches any kind of surface, it is going to release its juice and it's going to dry itself. This is why I'm using a mat, so air can circulate around the meat and cools it down equally. The meat is cooling down here. By this time I can heat the plate for the surprising end, for the magical surprising service. So I am going to turn on the stove and heat it. I'm using a casserole plate that I can heat. You can use glass, you can use cast iron, ceramic, whatever you can heat will do. Let's slice the meat now. I like medium cooked meats. This is why I am going to have like a 2 finger size slices out of it. You can slice your own meat accordingly, like you like it well done. I hope you don't, because it's going to dry it completely. So you can do it thicker or thinner. And look at this. How juicy, how soft and beautiful looking it is. And now the fun and the magical part comes, because I heated the casserole plate here perfectly. It's too hot. Maybe even you can see the smokes coming out from that. And I am going to put it on the mats again, because I do not want to burn my surface. And I am going to add some salted butter. I'm just going to use my hands. I am going to oil all the parts. This oil is enough for me, so I am going to take this one out. I need to suggest you to do this after you serve the meat, so you can serve it like this, as a big plate, like a fondue actually, so everyone can cook their own meat, or you can put the meats into this plate like this, and when it's still boiling or cooking like this, you can serve it, so they will see it's still boiling and hot.